Hey there, Roast here, and I know I haven't uploaded for absolutely forever, and it's the new year. Happy New Year, 2026. And I wanted to make a short video, and it may end up being rambling along, as are most of mine, unedited. So this is going to be kind of the same. So yeah, I was going to say you can speed it up, but you need a YouTube account these days, don't you? You need to actually pay for it to be able to speed it up. So I guess you can hit the fast forward if you find it's a little bit on the slow side. But from New Year's Day in Path of Exile 2, after 760 hours, something like that, I decided to have a go with one of these, a controller. So I've played Path of Exile 2 with mouse and keyboard from the word go. Initially, I tried WASD and found that with my left hand, trying to do the movement and a few skills was too complicated, and I had to keep looking down at my hand, which took me away from getting immersed, getting into the gameplay. So I went for click to move, and that also allowed me to switch from PoE 1 to PoE 2 more easily, and to use the same kind of features such as do not move while attacking, that sort of thing. But that seamless transition from PoE 1 to PoE 2 was really nice for me. So I just continued with that, and I played primarily PoE 1 with maybe a few weeks of PoE 2 and then back into PoE 1 for most of 2025. But on the launch, let's say, of 2026, I decided, there's a lot of people in my chat who, one of them uses PC but plugs in a controller, and there are other people who are using either Xbox, PS5, so console, and therefore using a controller. I guess you can plug in a keyboard to a console, but these guys aren't doing that. So when they see me struggling a little bit or a lot with a ranged character such as a ranger or a crossbow or even a wander, and they're thinking, well, why don't you just use the... Oh, of course, you can't do that with mouse and keyboard. So I don't know why. For some reason, I considered it a backward step, maybe. But I never did decide to try controller, even though it seems to be built for controller. So let me launch the game. And here we go. Here is Steam. So if I switch to display, all right, obviously there's OBS recording me. And yeah, there is my Steam, and it's set up here. Now my controller is currently switched off. See, normally this light here, if I switch back to full screen, that light there will come on. Don't worry about this light. That's just telling me it's got power, but this that Xbox logo will light up. So I won't do that now. I'll show you what it looks like with keyboard and mouse. I'll just pick one character that I've been playing, this Druid, Last of the Druids League. So let's give that chance to boot up. And then let me play the very, very first character that I played. And normally I have some background music, but, you know, YouTube is a lot stricter than Twitch when it comes to background music. Okay, so this is the interface with keyboard and mouse. I'm just going to change my keyboard layout because I use Dvorak. Okay, now let's go to the current league, Fate of the Vile. So this is Trade League, softcore trade, just the most basic league. So I played this one. I tried a plant one, but didn't really. Yeah, let's not get into that. So this one, yeah, it's just called Control Test 1 because it was the very first character that I played on New Year's Day as it became, you know, just after midnight. I said, right, let me try this. And I did. Or it might have been the next day. I can't remember now. It's only a week ago, but yeah. Let's give this a chance. Look at the load time. I want to kind of come back to that. The load time. So here's my character. I'm playing click to move now, which I haven't done for a few days, so this might be a little bit weird. Oh, it looks like I've just killed Colossus. And what I'll do is put the in-game music on, so you've got something here. Usually when I stream on Twitch, I turn that off and have my own music on. So if I just go to any old zone, for example, and you'll see, right, what level am I? 26. So let's go to an open map, like yeah, you know, daylight. Oh, actually this one is not daylight. Oh, I don't have any skills enabled. Okay, let's have, I don't know, lightning arrow here and lightning rod. So how does this work? So you do that. God, I've already forgotten it. And then you drop your rods down.
Storm point. I shall overcome.
Sort of alright. Sort of okay with keyboard and mouse. Feels a bit weird because I haven't been playing keyboard and mouse. See, I'm taking some damage, but you can see my aim really sucks, and that's what my chat were noticing, is that my aim really sucks, and that, okay, I probably got the wrong loot filter on as well. You can see my Herald of Lightning kicking in. Now to change from this to controller, I have to actually log out. Yeah, I'm really struggling to aim. Partly because I haven't used mouse and keyboard for a few days, but also just, you know, this is how I am when I play mouse and keyboard. And it's like, it was a bit of a wake-up call. Alright, So a minute or so of me playing with mouse and keyboard. So now I need to log out to this bit. I don't know if you need to log out all the way, but alright, where's my OBS? Just so I can see the camera. Now I'm going to switch this on. So if I press here and also these are thumbstick, what are they called? They just give you a little bit of extra height. I've had these for ages. This isn't something I've bought new. I've just had it in the cupboard and I used to play like shooters with it, or everything really. Okay, so there we go. And look how the, see now, input method set to controller. So the UI changes and I quite like it. So now I'm just using thumbstick, but I can also use D-pad. So I'm used to all of this from playing on Xbox for years. And when I first started playing on PC, I used my Xbox 360 controller for many years. And it was only maybe 2 or 3 years ago that I switched to keyboard and mouse. Still play things like Assassin's Creed or Hogwarts Legacy with the controller, but because I've been playing mainly Path of Exile for most of 2025, I have been keyboard and mouse. Okay, so now let me play again, but this time. Alright, so you can look at the bottom and you can see, alright, I've got the wrong filter, but just for this demo it doesn't really matter. So left button is my healing, right button is my mana, X is my rods, I've got my ice, what is that, frost bomb to do my exposure. Okay, so there.
Storm point.
So I don't need to, this is one thing I was doing, was using, like overusing the dodge roll. You can see I can just dodge by, yeah, I can move and shoot at the same time, which you know, I kind of did. And I find it much easier to collect loot and keep moving, which I'm sure that, you know, people who play keyboard and mouse and WASD, they can do all of that more easily than I can. There's me dropping the frost bomb. The very rare dodge roll, which you hardly need to do, but I was doing a dodge roll all the time with keyboard and mouse because I couldn't do this kind of very subtle movement. The frost bomb, you only really need it for bosses and rares for the extra exposure. And it feels much more comfortable. Yeah, it's showing crossbows because I've been playing my merc, so yeah. And it just feels generally a lot more comfortable. So what are the main differences? This is where I should have an overlay with a list of all the different things, but let me pause it there so you can see where my hands are. If I change it up, right? And I'll move the camera down just a little bit. Okay, so here's my hands, and so that's, oops, this camera's gonna fall off. Ah, that's better. So yeah, this is usually where my hand is, and then I've got my mouse here. And like I said, I find it hard to do the WASD and the skills at the same time, but I just have the outside edge of my hand resting here on my desk, and it's just, you know, it doesn't move around, but it's super chill. I'm sitting really close up to my monitor, and yeah, maybe I could do like a few seconds of this, resume game, so you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's not... It's so chill. It's like... dropping a frost bomb. So you kind of... Well, what I'm finding is that I sort of forget about, oh, I need to press that button now, or I need to, you know, think about this. It's all just more... It's more about the gameplay now. Than actually thinking about, right, which button do I press? Right, even may I do this?
Nowhere to run. Thunderous shot.
Oh, am I gonna die? Oh, and I leveled. Oh, that's a good for the demo. Alright, that's enough hand position demoing. Okay, so let me put this camera back up again. So much for the short video. Okay. Oh, I didn't mix it into the gameplay, but anyway, that's what you get from unedited. So what have I found to be like the main differences? So like I was saying just now, you know, I can get a lot more immersed into the gameplay rather than the thinking about, well, how to move, how to dodge. You know, the muscle memory seems to be a lot more intuitive, easier. Okay, let's say I go back to the caravan now. I'm finding that the load times are fractionally faster. They're not like a lot faster, but noticeably faster. There's enough of a difference between playing with keyboard and mouse and playing with controller, such that I can sense that, oh, this is actually faster. If I now go to my hideout, okay, loading screen, and bang, there I am.
Shipment sent.
We sold something. What else? Okay, so you might be thinking, oh god, inventory management. Inventory management is definitely a little bit slower. But it's not like super tedious. There are like little tips and things which, you know, after a while, you see right at the bottom, it's got things like move tab, move to top, there are things you can do that are kind of as convenient as like control and right click to move a ton of currency. All those kind of things you can do with controller as well. So they've built the game with controller in mind. So that is really nice. To get to the... So this is softcore trade. To get to that, you just go here from the pause menu. And look, you don't have to click. You can just press the right button and it'll search. And I don't know why it does that for the search. Can you see? You can just scroll as you would. And you can go in and say, alright, I want rare items only. Right button. And you can start searching through and go, ooh, well that's cool. Oh, maybe I want a new bow. Okay. So, yeah. Definitely more chill. More kind of intuitive, certainly for me, more kind of absorbed in the gameplay rather than thinking about which buttons go where. Button mapping, I mean, you can do that with this wheel here, bind screen, and then you can start, you know, changing the button maps however you want. And this is quite handy, this wheel, to quickly like, oh okay, I want to see my skills. But you can also, you've got another way to do that. The UI has got more of that kind of controller, what would you call it? More of a console sort of feel. So even though I am playing on PC, I can have that feel to it. And it's, yeah, very responsive, very intuitive, and certainly for a ranged character, for people who can't really do WASD but want to aim. And if you do want to change the... what's that? If you do want to change the aim options, you've got this. So you can set it up for melee or ranged, but within the range you've got other options. So here, right, you can turn these on and off. Alright, so you can target other things. Right, before I wind this up, let me try a different character. So, after playing the Ranger, I started playing this one, which is, it's now Witch Hunter, but it's just Mercenary with a crossbow. And I tried this on keyboard and mouse, and I just could not do it. The movement, the firing I found really slow, so I tried it again with controller. I liked it but not enough, and I left it. But then I decided to come back to it and try again, and I found it much more enjoyable, even the sort of slow pace, which then... So, I've just finished leveling this. So let me jump into one of these interludes. I don't know, it doesn't matter really, does it? Again, let's try... Yeah, this one's quite a nice zone. It's like doing... so my character is doing frost bolts. Or... what are they called? Permafrost, that's it. I like having my map overlay on. Well, actually, let's turn that off so you can...
Undead wretch!
See, the movement that I'm doing here, I really can't do that when I'm playing keyboard and mouse. And there's some cool tech that I've set up that maybe I can show that on a different one if anyone's interested. How I can... this is Pox's build that I'm doing. But you see how quickly it's changing the auto...
No, I'm getting swarmed under.
He's not though. So I'm switching here from permafrost to frag to blow them up, because frag blows up frost. And to do this on keyboard and mouse is, certainly for me, so as soon as they freeze, I use that. And this changed, the experience changed so much from like, oh my god, this is impossible, to, god, this is actually a lot of fun. And what changed was playing on controller, basically. So if you haven't tried controller and you've got one, right, mine was just sitting in the cupboard, basically. It changed my experience from, oh god, this is unplayable, why does anyone play this, to, god, this is so much fun. Oh yeah, you got shards. I'm not using the shards. Anyway. Yeah, let's pop back. Let's pop back. So, what did I like about it? What I've liked about it is, yeah, the chill feeling. So I showed you what it was like with the hands on the thing, hands on my desk. I like the UI. It's got more of that console vibe to it, and the colors, the UI colors in general seem to be a bit more saturated, bit more vibrant, so I like that. I don't know if it's just me imagining it, but the load times seem to be a little bit faster, and I can do stuff. I can move the character, I can move and shoot and pick things up a lot more easily than I can do with keyboard and mouse. The only downside, if it is a downside, it's not that tedious, but going on the trade and inventory management is a little bit clunky, but you do get used to it, and because the rest of the experience is so nice, I think it makes up for it. Okay, so as I said, kind of a bit rambly and unedited and not quite as short as I was thinking, but just wanted to give you a feel of my first impressions of using a controller after 760 hours of keyboard and mouse. And if any of you who've been playing this game find that the ranged characters are a bit tricky to use, but you do happen to have a controller, then I suggest giving it a try. And you know, it might take you a day to kind of make that transition, because anything new is going to feel a bit weird to start with, but I give it a thumbs up, and I'm going to keep using controller for PoE 2. I did try PoE 1. It does work. They've put in controller support now, but it doesn't feel quite as good, so I'll stick with keyboard and mouse for that. But yeah, if you do have a controller and you're thinking, oh, maybe I should give it a try, give it a try. And give it a long try so that you get time to adjust to it. And you might find that it's actually quite good. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye bye.